Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Thanks so much for the few Patreons that I do have that believe in me and help support this channel. And as a Patreon, they have exclusive access to exclusive Patreon reviews. I try to do 1 or 2 a month for them. And I think the archives have around 40 in there. So it's quite a lot to look at. But remember, folks, it's Just Whiskey. Today is a special show that I've been challenged by Matt from Whiskey on the West Coast. Hi, Matt. Thanks for challenging me. Challenge accepted. And the challenge goes back to, I think, Jeff from Jeff Whiskey, maybe. Don't quote me on that. And you pick your favorite whiskey from each region. And as far as Scotland goes, there's only, I believe, 5 official regions. But we're going to do 6 regions. And you say, John, but how can you do that? There's only 5 recognized. Well, I think even the 5 recognized regions, it's mainly done for marketing purposes. But the reason why we're going to do 6 regions is because they are Highlands, Lowlands, Speyside, Islay, and Campbeltown. But we're going to add the islands as the 6th category because, you know, if it was good enough for Dave Broom, it's good enough for me. I highly recommend this book. This is an old book. This was a second printing. This is goes back to 2014. The first printing was 2010. And on page 33, he has listed officially, since it's Dave Broom, 6 regions. Okay? And then if you move to page 170, that starts from back in 2014, each distillery in the islands. Okay? So again, if it's good enough for Dave Broom, it's good enough for me. I highly recommend this book, or any book written by Dave Broom. He's a great writer, has his own style, and there's a wealth of information there. And there's probably a little spoiler right in front of you here. Without any further ado, I'm just going to make this very simple. I'm going to tell you my favorite specific bottle of scotch from each region. And then if you stick around to the end, not only will I tell you what the mystery pour is, which will allude to my next review, which is a page out of Jeff from G Whiskey. I will, if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you the mystery pour, and then I'll tell you what my runner-ups would be. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Highlands, and my pick is Clynelish 14, which was one of my whiskeys of the year, and some people complain that there's batch variation. I've been lucky. I have not experienced any batch variation. They've all been very good. And the reason why I picked this as well is because I can still find this in my area for $50. Yes, there are other places that are $60 or $70 for it, but I can still find this for $50, and I just pick them up occasionally, and I have plenty of backups of them. So yeah, Clynelish 14 is my pick for the Highlands. My pick for the Lowlands is possibly a diamond in the rough. It's Loch Lear. I always root for the underdog, and what we have here is their inaugural release and then their first batch of the cask strength. And John Campbell, who came from the master distiller from Lefroy, he spent the last few years at Loch Lear. but he has recently announced that he will be moving on for a bigger, new adventure, not a big adventure, a new adventure. So Lockley is still in its younger stages, but I'm rooting for them. Hopefully in time, they will shine. Okay, so we're gonna put that over here. All right. It'll be no surprise as well. My Speyside, of course, is Craig Alec, 13-year-old. And again, I can find this all day long in my area for $50. Are you kidding me? 13-year-old for $50. Craig Alec, I believe this was Whiskey of the Year for me as well. All right. Islay, the island of Islay, the region of Islay. It's going to be Lagavulin 8. You're noticing a trend here. These are readily available and very reasonably priced. Lagavulin 8 I can still find all day long in my area, many places, for $50. Comes in at 48% ABV, heavily peated, great value for money in my opinion. Highly recommend Lagavulin 8. Then for the islands, right, which is not an official category, but we're gonna call it that. Again, this will come as no surprise. Another Whiskey of the Year, Tobermory 12. I absolutely love Tobermory 12. It's a little harder to find in the States. It's actually very challenging to find in the States. And for some reason in the States, it retails for close to $100. But in the UK, you can find this all day long for about 42 pounds, I believe. Right around there. Sometimes on special offer for 38 pounds. So over there, you can buy 2 for 1. Tobermory 12-year-old. I absolutely love it. Now we're saving the best for the last, maybe, right? Campbeltown. Stick around for the runner-ups, but again, the reason why I'm doing this, right? And there's only 3 distilleries in Campbeltown, so it's tough, really. Long row, 9 age stated, from Springbank, heavily peated. You can find this, you know, the 10 and the Kilkerran 12, they blow off the shelves very quickly. But the long row, heavily peated, seems to stick around a little bit longer. If you like heavily peated with a little bit of a funk to it, maybe, and you want to experience a heavily peated Springbank, this is the way to go. You can have a better chance of finding this than probably any other Kilkerran or Springbank. And I know there's Glen Scotia too. All right. So then we'll do the mystery pour, and then I'll do the runner-ups. So the mystery pour, and you're probably going to be surprised. I'm surprised that I bought it. But Tully Barton, which is usually a bottom shelf. Their core range is like 40%, probably chill filtered, colored, or whatever. But they're starting to come around. They have a couple of releases now that are 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, no coloring added. And I will be reviewing the Tully Barton. This is called the Murray, and it's part of their Marquise collection. And this is a triple port cask finish. And it's 14 years old. And the price, I mean, fancy packaging, all that kind of stuff. 14-year-old, 46% ABV, $69. So it was a no-brainer. I picked that up. This will be probably one of my next reviews. If you want to stick around for that, I'll go into the in depth about that and why I bought it. All right, now my runner-ups by category. Old Pulteney, which would be the Highlands, but it also could be right, maybe part of the islands as well. But Old Pulteney 18-year-old, I absolutely love this. This is the first bottle this came out in 2018 or 19. This is the very first batch that came out. I have not tried later batches of this, but I am absolutely loving this bottle. And you can find it for around $150. Absolutely love it. As far as the Lowlands go, my runner-up would be Daft Mill. This is very hard to find, but when you do find it, it's going to be very expensive. It's $250, $260, $270. Very expensive because you're paying for the rarity, and yeah. But Daft Mill would be my runner-up. For Speyside, my runner-up would be Glenfarclas 17-year-old. Yes, it's 43% ABV, but it's a beautiful, beautiful whiskey. I think it's pitch perfect for the ABV. The prices are going up on it. That's why it's my runner-up. But this is a beautiful, beautiful whiskey. Then my runner-up for the islands, of course, Talisker 10, which was a whiskey of the year for me as well. Again, I can find this still for $50 to $60. So it's great value for money. Absolutely love Talisker. And then for Campbeltown, of course, my runner-ups are going to be Springbank 10 and Kilkerran 12. They're runner-ups because you can't find them, and when you do, they're becoming overpriced, but they just fly up the shelves. So that's why they're the runner-ups. Absolutely love each one of these. On any given day, the Kilkerran 12 might edge out the Springbank 10, believe it or not. So, thanks, Matt, for challenging me. And now I have to pass on the challenge. And I'm going to pass it on to Shane from Whiskey Lock. And I don't know, Shane, I don't know if you've done this challenge before. So if you have, it's okay. But I'd be interested, and what's cool, kind of, even if you're picking your favorite out of each region, if you just erase that and pretend that there never was a region, these would be my favorites from Scotland, period. And the proof's in the pudding because they've all been whiskey of the year for me. So anyway, Shane, throwing it out there. If you have time, I know you're a busy guy. I don't know if you've done it before, but that's who I would challenge. And if you've done it before, maybe you have some new favorites. Who knows? Or a different spin on it. Anyway, that's all I have today. Hope you enjoyed today's show. If you do, thumbs up, like, subscribe. Consider becoming a Patreon. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks.